what happened to the economy is that promises were being made, beautiful promises. You know, we're gonna give free health care for all. We're gonna give, you know, just housing for everybody. We're gonna, you know, have rent control. We're gonna have like markets where you are going to be able to buy very cheap food. I mean, the beautiful story that has been told many times. That has been
it's being told right now in New York. To be honest with you,
and it's a beautiful story that for more than 100 years people have fallen for, and it's very hard to understand that people don't know in somebody else's head. You learn by your own experience, and that's what started. So then Chavez decided that he wanted to control the economy. Then he was not able to control the economy with price controls. So more controls. He criminalized, as it was said in the documentary, criminalized merchants, criminalized business people. Then they started to expropriate. Then the economy started to continue to crumble. And the tragedy of Venezuela is that when Chavez came to power, Venezuela was producing 3.6 million barrels of oil. Today, Venezuela is producing 700,000 barrels per oil. It's the largest collapse of an economy. Venezuela's GDP collapsed by almost 80%. 80%. That is something that it's very hard to imagine. If you have a decrease of 2% GDP in a functioning economy, you go into a recession. Imagine 70%. The country completely collapsed. And that was because of these ideas, these beautiful ideas that were not able to be developed. And then they had a complete mismanagement of the economy. And that came with a very opaque way of managing the public funds, and that came with just massive, massive corruption. Corruption that's never, I don't think it's comparable to what's happening in other countries. I talk to friends from other countries, and they say that massive scandals of corruption are about, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million. Well, in Venezuela, the latest scandal of corruption was that sanctions were imposed in Venezuela in the year 2019. Long story short, Maduro decided to sell the oil shipments and be paid by crypto using Tether. And all of a sudden, 3 years after that, $22 billion evaporated. $22 billion just evaporated. Maduro had to imprison 100 people, including his minister of oil, his minister of finance, his minister of crypto. And that was the result. That was the result of just massive mismanagement of the economy.
Part of that had to do with the nationalization of the oil industry. Oil, to some degree, but I think what I want to touch on also is oil price. So when I was there, you literally take some change from your car, you'd give it to the person, and your tank was filled up with gas. If it cost 25 cents US, it was nothing. This is 2010.
Yeah,
11.
well, like gasoline was cheaper than water, and water was almost free. So
exactly,
it was unique, and this is true for several oil-producing countries where there's this idea that the benefit for the people of being an oil-producing company is that people buy or basically free gas. But that distorts the entire economy. I mean, the pricing system, if energy is priced at zero, it of course distorts the economy. And that's what happened, or part of what happened in Venezuela.
And beyond that, so two different things happened. So you also had, I think he was giving upwards of 100,000 barrels of oil a day to people like Ortega in Nicaragua.
Yeah, and to Cuba.
To Cuba
they continue to do that.
Is that still going on, the oil shipments? But the problem now is that the production of oil is much less than when it was then, right? And part of the reason, from what I understood, is that literally because of the lengths of corruption, people fleeing, they literally took the diamond tips off of the machines that you would use to drill for oil with, so you don't even have the capabilities to drill. This led to, I believe, importing oil from the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, at one point, Venezuela was importing oil from Iran.
Right. Yeah.
So imagine that. It's like selling ice cream to Eskimos, right? It's like selling ice, not even ice cream, because ice cream is, it has at least some processing. And that's what was happening in Venezuela. It was complete incapacity, it was mismanagement. And as I said, now we're producing 700,000. And yes, the economy collapsed by almost 80%. But the flip side to that is that we had 100,000% inflation. 100,000% inflation, hyperinflation. Living in hyperinflation means, and if you have never lived that, it's very hard to imagine. Pricing changes by the hour, not by the day. Pricing changes by the hour. If you're gonna buy half kilogram of cheese, you need to have a backpack of the local currency to buy half kilogram of cheese and half kilogram of ham. And that's what happened. That's what this mismanagement of the economy packaged with these beautiful ideas, because the beautiful ideas are always present. This idea of selling the utopia, the selling that, that the way to sell the utopia is by giving handouts and giving just everything for free. And as we all know, there's no free lunch. And when prices of oil collapsed, then the entire economy collapsed.